Dear friends, welcome to this evening's presentation and guided meditation class on beliefs and deliberate creation. We all know, or at least we all must have heard about this statement from the Bhagavad Gita, which says, Yad bhavam tad bhavati, which means, as you think, so you are. Whatever you think from within, that is exactly what manifests in your external life, in your life outside. And that is the theme of today's presentation as well as guided meditation, which is about we understand how we are going to look at how your deep beliefs, how they affect your life, and how you can start working on number one, identifying these beliefs, because some of these beliefs are at such a deep level and so deep rooted that you're not even aware that you have these beliefs. So they are still affecting your life and without you knowing it. And that's what is really the sad part, because then you start feeling like a victim because you're creating so many things without knowing that you yourself are creating it because of some deeply held belief systems or different kinds of thoughts that you have deep within you. So what we need to do is to really first look at how you can identify these beliefs, and then you can start working on doing your inner work, meditations and guided meditations to change these beliefs, and then you will begin to see that effect in your outside life as well. So we have a presentation on these beliefs and deliberate creation, and we'll talk about what it means to be a deliberate creator. So how did this term deliberate creation come about? What do you mean by deliberate? By the word deliberate, we mean that intended. That means with very clear intention, when you do something, then it is called as a deliberate action. On the other hand, we do a lot of things which are not deliberate, just by default. We just keep following our habits, our old habits. Like they say, old habits die hard. We just keep on doing the same things in a routine manner, sometimes without even knowing why we are doing what we are doing. So that's what we call as the what creation by default, or that's basically unconscious creation. So we can either choose to create consciously, or like most of us do, we are creating unconsciously. So we choose to become conscious creators instead of continuing to be unconscious creators. So this act of conscious creation is also called as deliberate creation, because you're using the force of your willpower with your understanding and with setting clear intentions. Then you begin to create, and you also work on removing all those beliefs or transforming all those beliefs which are there within you, which are creating something undesirable in your life. So friends, I hope it's visible, the presentation. Just give me a minute, please. Yes. Thank you, friends. So welcome to Quantum Life University, to this presentation again on beliefs and deliberate creation. So I bow to my mentors, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, with whom this amazing journey of learning has brought me to this stage of being able to present something which is useful to people in this field. So thank you very much for all the help and guidance that you both have given me as the founders of Quantum Life University and Life Foundation. And we come to this presentation on beliefs and deliberate creation. So let's look at our belief systems. So in our beliefs, we have different. What is a belief, first of all? First, we need to understand what is a belief. A belief is nothing but a thought that you have been thinking repeatedly. And as you keep thinking repeatedly, finally, you will make this thought to be a part of your regular system into your subconscious. Then it becomes a belief. So a belief is nothing but a thought that you just keep thinking again and again until you accept it as a truth. And then it becomes a belief. So where do these beliefs come from? For that, you need to first understand where do thoughts come from and what types of thoughts are there. And this is how you will be able to first understand your beliefs. Because beliefs are nothing but thoughts that you just keep thinking repetitively. So what are the types of thoughts that we have? One, we have surface thoughts. These are the thoughts that just are there on the surface of our awareness. Random thoughts which are in response to our environment, in response to environmental situation, whatever is going on around you. And these are the surface thoughts. The next are the root thoughts. So the root thoughts are the thoughts which create the surface thoughts. They're at a deeper level compared to surface thoughts. And below that, we have the beliefs. The beliefs are the thoughts which we have been thinking repeatedly again and again, and we are finally able to accept it as a truth. So the difference between other thoughts and beliefs is by the word itself and by the meaning of the word belief is that you believe that this thought is true. Now, there's one thing you need to understand. When you want to become a deliberate creator and we want to really start creating things in accordance with our inner intentions very clearly, a belief is just your belief. It is not the truth. You might be thinking that it is the truth, but it is not the truth. It is just your belief that it is the truth. Now, let me give you an example. Suppose I have a belief deep within that I'm not good enough, that I'm not capable of doing a certain thing, and that in a certain area or a certain field of life, I'm not good enough. So is that the truth? That is not the truth. That is your belief that it is not, that you're not good enough. It is not the truth. Unfortunately, we start believing that this is the truth. We start taking it to be the truth. And that is why it starts manifesting, because our belief about it is so strong that it starts manifesting. The stronger the thought, the faster the manifestation. And particularly when we're talking about limiting beliefs and limiting systems, the thought processes, when I say limiting, it means any thought which makes you to think less about yourself than your full potential. that is limiting. In a sense, it limits your own belief about yourself. So coming back to the earlier example that I'm not good enough for a particular situation or to do a particular activity, that is your belief. It's a limiting belief. It is actually a limiting belief. But it is not the truth. So you need to differentiate between a truth and a belief. And we need to understand that a belief is not truth. There is a difference between a truth and a belief. So if I say that the sun rises in the east, then that is a truth. It is not a belief. It is something that is a universal truth, and it does happen. Okay, at least for those who are staying on earth, that is how it happens. But we also take our beliefs with the same level of truth. We also believe them to be equally true, like the universal truths. That much of faith we put into our beliefs. So the first thing we need to do when we become deliberate creators are, you need to identify your belief. You need to question the belief. We need to analyze this belief and see whether is this really my thinking about this, or is this the universal truth? So that's important. You need to pause once you identify a belief and say, is this universal truth or it is just my belief about it? And most of the time, obviously, it is all to do with yourself. Therefore, they are all beliefs. They are not truths. The universal truths are something else. And under the level of beliefs, you have something called sponsoring thoughts. The sponsoring thoughts are still at a deeper level. They are the sponsoring thoughts which are responsible, so to speak, for the creation of your beliefs. And still deeper, under the sponsoring thoughts, you have what are called core beliefs. The core beliefs are like the very, very deep rooted thoughts, and they are the core beliefs. So the core beliefs will create your sponsoring thoughts. Sponsoring thoughts in turn create your beliefs. The beliefs create your root thoughts, and root thoughts create all the surface thoughts that are going on in your mind at this point of time. At any given point of time, many of which are in response to your situations, but there is an underlying, I can say, pattern to your thoughts. And that underlying pattern is determined by your core beliefs. Your underlying pattern of thoughts finally is determined by your core beliefs. So we need to examine our core beliefs, understand our core beliefs, and then move from there. So if we are all clear about these things, about beliefs and how they come and what are the different types of thoughts that we have, let's just have a quick review of this. First point, that a belief is also a thought. The difference being that it is a thought which we have been thinking repeatedly. Okay. The second thing is that a belief is your feeling that it is truth, but there is a difference between belief and truth. Belief is not truth. It is your belief that it is true, but it is not the truth. There's a difference between a universal truth and your belief that it is true. So if another example, if I believe that a person is bad, that's my belief. That is not a universal truth that that person is bad. Because of my own perception, because of the way I look at that person, I may feel that that person is not good, and therefore I'll say this person is bad, or I'll judge him, or I will have some kind of an opinion about that person. So I may have opinions, judgments. So that forms my belief, but that's not the universal truth. So we first need to understand that truth and belief are something different. And then we have how these thoughts come. We have core beliefs. Core beliefs result in sponsoring thoughts. Sponsoring thoughts result in beliefs. Beliefs result in root thoughts, and root thoughts result in your surface thoughts and the routine thoughts that you keep having all the time. Okay. Now the next point. how are beliefs formed? So we say, okay, we have thoughts that we have been thinking repeatedly, and because of the repeated thinking of these thoughts, we have formed certain beliefs. But how are they formed? How are they actually formed? So we need to look at how these beliefs are formed. There are two ways in which beliefs are formed. The first is experienced beliefs, and the second is called indoctrinated beliefs. When I say experienced belief, an experienced belief is something that we have begun to believe based on our own personal experience. For instance, a child plays with fire for the first time, gets burnt, gets hurt, and then begins to understand that fire can be hurting, it is dangerous, it is hot, it can be painful to put your hand in the fire. Then it becomes a belief that fire is dangerous. It is an experienced belief because the child has learned this from own experience. On the other hand, there are beliefs which are called indoctrinated beliefs, which are based on what we learn from others and what we are also sometimes taught by others. And there are many ways in which we can acquire indoctrinated beliefs. We will look at all these different ways in which we can actually acquire indoctrinated beliefs. So we'll look at some of them. So again, let's review this slide once. There are two ways in which beliefs are formed. The first is that beliefs are experienced beliefs, where you develop beliefs based on your own personal experience. And the second are indoctrinated beliefs, beliefs which you acquire or develop based on what other people have taught you, or so many other factors have taught you, which we will look at that. Okay, now let us look at some of the ways in which we acquire indoctrinated beliefs. One, of course, the first is the self-experiences, which is not part of indoctrinated beliefs, but now let's look at all the rest of the ways which we can see which are the indoctrinated beliefs. Okay, so one of the most important sources of your beliefs is your upbringing or your family of origin. Your family teaches you so many things. Not all of them are the truths, but they become our beliefs. And we don't question them because we trust the people around us, parents and caregivers and members of the extended family. These are all people who are our early influences since childhood, and everything they tell us we accept as the truth, because as children we are very impressionable, we are trusting, our nature is very trusting, we completely trust everyone around us, and because of the trust we really absorb everything and we say that yes, this is and we accept everything to be true, and we form these as our beliefs. The next influence is society. Society is such a major influence on people, and as we keep growing, we start interacting with people beyond our own extended family, a family and extended family, and that's what we call as a society in which we live in. And society starts teaching us certain things. And again, these are just beliefs, not truths, but we take it as a truth. Everything that we learn from society, we take these as truths. It's only not until much later and only when there is a deep introspection that you do that you actually begin to question some of these beliefs and see whether these beliefs are the truth or not. Okay. The next thing is, we look at the influence from religion and the systems of ethics and values that people are introduced to. Even what you learn from religion, again, it's not necessarily true. It is just something that makes you to acquire another set of beliefs, which we call other religious beliefs, or the beliefs which are based on the ethics and values which are taught by people around you who are responsible for teaching you those things like ethics and values. Then we have influences from ideologies and political views. So there are some kind of beliefs which are based on that. Like for instance, a person with an ideology of, let us say, a communist ideology has a certain belief about not just about the political system or about the political way of running a government or an organization or the country, but it goes into much deeper. It looks at people in a certain way. It looks at how a certain category of people, what is their way of living and what is their way of thinking and understanding. It makes certain assumptions. And why I say assumptions is because these are not necessarily true again. But every different ideology or every different political system will have its own way of looking at it. For instance, a communist ideology is that the rich are always oppressing the poor. It's not necessarily true, but it is the belief based on, it is the belief which is the foundation, one can say, about of the communist philosophy, and that is just given as one example. And so it is with each and every other system or political ideology or any other kind of ideologies that we have in the world. All these have specific belief systems which form part of the whole ideology and understanding. Then we have your own culture and ethnicity, the culture in which you are brought up, the kind of environment and ethnicity from which your upbringing is happening. All this is a major influence in your own life, and they affect your beliefs as well. The next thing is the race from which you come from, the country of origin. People from a particular country have certain beliefs. People from another country may have different kinds of beliefs. So when you interact with people of other nationalities, you find that they have different belief systems. And that has nothing to do with them personally. It has got to do more with, we can say, the whole national belief system where the entire country believes certain things. And then there are other influences like prediction sciences, like astrology, palmistry, numerology, etc. All these also affect your beliefs. They make you to absorb certain beliefs. For instance, if you are a great believer in astrology and you have understood and you read something, and in that it is mentioned that this particular time of your life is not good and you're going to have a lot of challenges during that time, then that becomes a belief. Then you believe that this time is not good for you. And we'll see how it affects us later, because once you have a belief that this time is not good, and belief is nothing but a thought, and your thought creates your reality, it means that the fact that you have the belief itself, you are making that to happen. You're making that into a truth. So this is what we call as a self-fulfilling prophecy. Why is it self-fulfilling? Because your belief in something is what makes it true. It is not the prediction itself which makes it true. A prediction is a very general statement in which they say that this time is not good for you. And then you will make it bad for yourself because you believe that it is not good for you. And therefore, that underlying thoughts are all limiting. You have that, and after some time you may even forget that you have this, that you have even read this, or you have been told this by somebody. But it keeps working from underneath like a virus inside a computer system, whereas everything is happening. Okay. And yes, someone was talking about that I miss beliefs on education, influence, teachers. They all form part of the upbringing, family, and society. but we can definitely add the schooling, the teachers, and others, which are also a very important influence on on our belief systems, because we are taught so many things in school, and our teachers form a very, after the family, they are the next biggest influence on our belief systems. So we can add that there. Yes, thank you for bringing that. Yes. So, and then, so once again, just quickly to review the formation of beliefs and the influences that we have. Self-experiences. After self-experiences, the other beliefs are called the indoctrinated beliefs, and the indoctrinated beliefs are those which the indoctrinated beliefs are those beliefs which are formed because of what we learn from outside, and we have influences from family, teachers, school and education, society, religion, ethics, ideologies, culture, ethnicity, race, country. Then, of course, other things like prediction science and many other influences which we have probably not listed out here, but these are all possible influences which cause the indoctrinated beliefs within you. Okay. Now, let us say, let's look at the aspect of money and the beliefs surrounding money. You could extend this logic to every other aspect of your life, but for some time, let's look at the beliefs that we have surrounding money, because money is a very important aspect of our lives. It has become a very important aspect of our lives. So let's look at it. Many of us since childhood have been indoctrinated, I must say, with this belief that money does not grow on trees. Okay. So what would happen when this child grows up and then this belief has become subconsciously embedded so deeply, he or she has forgotten that this belief was there since childhood and that it is even there within the person at all, but it's there. So such a person will find it very difficult to earn money and to really make the amount of money that is needed in their life, because this indoctrinated belief is already there that money doesn't grow on trees, so it is very difficult to earn money, it's challenging, it's not easy, and everything around money makes it look very difficult. So that's how important it is to understand where our beliefs are coming from and what kind of beliefs that we have deep within us. The next belief is, another example is that money is filthy and dirty. Many of us have heard this statement saying, this person is filthy rich, this person is stinking rich. So what is the association that a child or makes at that point of time? They make the association that wealth is equated to dirt. Wealth is equated to not just dirt, but even filth, which is worse than dirt. So how will that person, once the person becomes grown up, how will they associate? How will they really want to make money? Because deep within there is a subconscious belief that money is dirt, money is filth. So will they really pursue it with the kind of passion that the really successful or wealthy people do? Definitely not. And while it's difficult for us to accept that such a simple thing as a belief like this can have such a profound effect on our life, but unfortunately that is the reality, that is the truth, that this kind of a belief is going to play on our life right throughout. It's going to keep affecting and keep creating our reality throughout our life. There's another belief that money is evil. They say money is evil. Everything, all the evils in society are because of money. And this has been taught from the time the child, from the person is, from the time they are small children. So what happens? When they grow up, but they have not been given any background about it. They have not been given what is the context of that statement. For example, if there was some context saying that if such and such thing is done, then it is not good. Okay? Or if you look at money and give it too much of importance beyond our relationships, beyond all this, but such clarifications are not given. Unfortunately, we just utter blanket statements that things, and then it's not our fault either, because this has been coming from generation to generation. We tell this because our parents have told us this, and they told this because their parents have in turn told us the same thing. And therefore it is coming from generation to generation. These beliefs are being passed on. Things like money doesn't grow on trees, money is filthy and dirty, and money is evil. And also then sometimes we start developing some things that we start justifying our own lack of money. So we say, yeah, I'm a poor person, but I'm a good person. So somewhere there is an equation that is made between poverty and goodness. So even we make statements like, he's a very nice person, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have any wealth, nothing. He's very poor and he's very good. So somewhere that subconscious association is made that poverty and goodness are kind of, they go hand in hand, and that they're one is dependent on the other. So if you become poor, you become good. And so everyone wants to start becoming good. And therefore, subconsciously, you start sabotaging everything that happens with respect to money. So whenever money starts coming in, you start sabotaging it subconsciously. And that is how you become more and more poor. And this, we started noticing this only when we started looking at it, and we made people to look deeply into their beliefs, and then we could clearly see the association between all these beliefs and what is really happening in their lives. So another belief, like money is in short supply. So there's always a shortage of money all around in the world. So this is another belief. So there is, once you say that there is something in short supply, then it becomes a scarce commodity, and therefore it becomes something very difficult to achieve or attain. And these are just a few examples. There are hundreds of related examples, and you can probably list out on your own. So probably you could do this as an exercise sometime after the meditation and everything over the next few days. Just list out all your common beliefs that you have into different categories. Now let's take some categories. Like, since we've already talked about money, you can just make a note of this. Your beliefs around money, your early beliefs around money, and look at it. Just go back into your own memory, into your childhood, all the way back, and look at what your parents would tell you or people around would tell you related to money. Beliefs such as this, as these examples that I have shared just now. Another area is, look at your beliefs surrounding relationships, because this is another important area of your life. So look at your beliefs surrounding relationships since childhood and note them down. So that would be another aspect of it. Yes, so Mr. Ashok Kumar was saying that some parents say money comes only when we have luck and when God writes the program in our life. So that's another belief, that it takes that belief is not only limiting, but it is disempowering. It means that you will get money only when you have luck. You are not going to get money whatever you do, however hard you work, or whatever you do, or however well planned efforts you make. You're not going to get it, because you need to have something called luck, and you don't know whether you have that luck or not. And there's no way of really knowing whether you have that luck or not. That is true. That is another belief. So like that, you'll find so many beliefs, and when you really look at those beliefs, you find that when you bring in all these together, no wonder money becomes such a big challenge for most of us in life, because of so many beliefs that we are carrying, which are working against the free flow of abundance and money in our lives. So do this exercise later about writing down beliefs around money and beliefs about relationships, because these are the two most important aspects of life. Okay. Next, we have something, again, going deeper into some of the examples related to money or beliefs related to money. There are something called identity or self-esteem beliefs. Identity or self-esteem beliefs. Okay. So one belief says, I do not deserve success. So that is a deeper belief. We will not look into where that belief came from right now. But many people have a deep-rooted belief that they do not deserve success. And the source could be something not related to money. So now we can understand that there are beliefs which are not related to money, but they still affect money. Or again, money is being given here as an example. So there could be a belief which is not related to relationships, but it is affecting relationships. So the beliefs about a certain aspect of life affect others because there is an interconnection. All your thoughts are interconnected and interrelated. Everything affects everything else within you. Okay. Dr. Bhuma is asking, how do we shift from these beliefs? And simple affirmation does not feel authentic at times. Okay. So, yes, I'll come to affirmations later when we look at how we're going to change the beliefs. And I'll also tell you about how some common affirmations, why affirmations don't work all the time, because of the way we are actually practicing it. So I'll talk about that later. And money is not in our destiny is another belief. Yes, that is true. We've already covered that when we talked about luck, which is quite similar to what we refer to as destiny also, that it is not there in our destiny. It's not there in our karma. It's not there in our destiny. That's again another belief. So we need to first understand what the belief is all about and first identify all the beliefs. We also need to make the correlation. We need to see how that particular belief is going to affect different aspects of our life. And then once we transform the belief, we are actually going to see how it's going to start changing your life itself, and you're going to see all the positive things that you really wanted to manifest, they begin to get manifested in your life. So now we come back to this aspect of some of the negative beliefs regarding money, about the identity or self-esteem beliefs. Okay, so one of them is I don't deserve. Now this not deserving could come from, I'll give you an example. Let us say you had a past life, okay, in which you misused your success, that you were very successful and somehow you misused your power that comes from that success. And finally, when you were vacating the body and you were ending that life, at that point of time, there was this thought within you that next lifetime I'm not going to be so successful because I didn't really do what I should have done or what I could have done with the success that I had. And we have seen many people had this kind of past life experiences and they were stuck with this similar belief that I do not deserve success. There could be other reasons. I'm just giving one as an example, one particular scenario of a past life situation as an example. So this I do not deserve success could come from a past life, it could come from childhood, it could come from, for instance, now, let us say, look at the current life. Maybe a child has grown up in a joint family, and they found that in the joint family system there is his own parents are more successful, and somehow because of that there were problems in the family, and finally they were persecuted, and all kinds of things happened. They've seen all this as they grew up, and finally they said, I think being successful is not good, and they felt that somewhere that they didn't deserve that success, and that's why all bad things happened to them. So success is not something that is to be pursued. So they started developing this belief deep within, and it became subconscious, and they are not even aware that they have that belief deep within. So these are aspects of ourselves these belief systems which are developed in different ways, coming from past lives, coming from childhood, all these things, but they are still affecting other areas of our life. Now, we have another thing. Another belief is I do not have unique talents or abilities. So somewhere there is a thing that has been ingrained in us that if you don't study well and you don't develop a lot of skills and talents, then you will not be able to earn money in life, or you will not be able to become successful in life. So this is being taught. And then somewhere, because of other aspects, because of your own low self-esteem or because of your low self-confidence, you don't believe that you have enough of skills and talents. So then you again make this correlation and say, since you need skills and talents to make money and be successful in life, and since I don't have skills and talents, then obviously I can't be successful. So this is how the thoughts get enmeshed. One affects another, one thought leads to another thought, and that thought finally leads to another thought, and that forms a belief. Now, for instance, when we can go back to this earlier slide, and in the same example, that makes it more clear to you about the core belief. Now, let us say here, the core belief is I'm not good enough. The core belief is I'm not good enough. And because I'm not good enough, I don't have skills and talent. So that becomes, let us say, that results in a sponsoring thought that I don't have skills and talents. So because I'm not good enough, obviously I'll not have any good skills and talents. Then nothing about me could be good. If I'm not good, period, then what could be good about me? There's nothing good. I won't have good qualities. I won't have talents. I won't have skills. I won't have any great abilities. So that is a sponsoring thought. And from that sponsoring thought, you develop a belief that I cannot be successful. And that is ingrained and it is subconscious. So once you have this as your belief, then everything else, all other thoughts are just follow-ups of the same thoughts. So that is how thought processes work. And that's how we really go develop and we start doing our creation by default in our lives. Okay, so the next, I hope this is very clear how some of the deeper thoughts, our core beliefs, form the sponsoring thoughts form our beliefs, and the beliefs form all thoughts, but every thought will have the same kind of energy to it. It's all very limiting. It's not positive. It's not something that's going to create desirable things in your life. It's always going to create something which is undesirable in life. The next thing is, another example is, everyone else comes first. So many times children have been told that you have to put yourself last. You have to always give others the chance to first get things and all that. So that is supposed to be a polite way of doing things. And again, the entire context is not explained. And so that becomes like a rule. And it is so much absorbed so deeply that in every situation, the person starts putting everyone else before themselves. But that's not the way we should. We are supposed to pursue our own goals and our own intentions. We need to clarify and develop clear intentions and pursue those intentions without having any limiting thoughts around those. That is how we can create deliberately. That is how we can become successful, prosperous, and happy in life. So we need to analyze that. That's the reason why we need to really analyze all the beliefs that we have. And then it's never too late. We may say, okay, I've been having these beliefs subconsciously for so many years, and sometimes for half a century maybe, or even more. So does it make any sense to start looking at trying to change them now? Definitely it does, because everything can be changed now. You can begin to start changing right away. So Mr. Sudhakar is asking, is there any difference in manifestation of negative thoughts and positive thoughts? So is there something like negative thoughts, do they manifest faster than positive thoughts? No. So good question. The manifestation of a thought doesn't depend on whether it's negative or positive. They manifest equally quickly. What determines how fast they manifest is the intensity of the thought. So how strongly we have this thought. And there is another factor also that comes, that is the emotion. So when we have a certain thought, there's also an emotion that goes with it. And that is what gives the energy to the thought. So I'll come to that later, but it's a very good question that you asked. Is there any difference? There is no difference. A negative thought manifests as easily as a positive thought. That's the first thing. The second thing is the speed of manifestation of the thought depends on the intensity of the thought and the intensity of the emotion behind it. For instance, I desire a certain thing to outcome in my life, but how intensely and how emotionally, with how much emotional intensity do I feel this? Do I have this thought? So that will make it happen faster. If the intensity is very low, it will take a long time, even if it's negative. So a weak negative intention, a negative thought will take more time to manifest. And a strong negative thought will manifest faster. Similarly, a weak positive thought will take much longer to manifest, and a strong positive thought will manifest much faster. So the strength of the thought and the intensity of the emotion make it faster, and there is no difference between negative and positive. Another example is I'm not worthy as a person. So these are just a few examples that we have about the belief systems and the kind of beliefs and how they affect us. Next, there's another set of beliefs which we call value beliefs. Again, I may repeat that although this whole set of examples are given surrounding money, you can find parallels of these kind of beliefs in every aspect of your life, like relationships and every other aspect of life. Okay. Now, one value belief is without money, I'm worth nothing. Again, this is based on beliefs that and conditioning that is that we grow up with since we are children. People say that, see, without money you have no value. I mean, people will treat you like dirt. So it's completely, you have been ingrained with this philosophy that if you don't have money, you are worth nothing, and that you will be treated like dirt. So the moment you have a little less money in your life, you will start feeling worthless. And then it starts affecting, and then it becomes a downward spiral. That in turn again affects the further creation of wealth in your life, and it goes on, and it becomes such a downward spiral that then you will find yourself going lower and lower. Another belief is I prefer to dream small so that I'm not too much pressurized. Okay, so here there is something where we feel that success brings a lot of pressure. So if you're successful, then I will have to be more responsible, and I have to do so much more work, and I have to maintain that, and it's very difficult to maintain, and therefore I will just make small attempts, and I don't keep any big goals for myself. Mr. Vinay asked that I can meditate, fear will come, tell me the solution. I didn't understand. Are you saying that you get fears when you meditate? Okay, we will cover that in the guided meditation. We will see how to clear fears in the guided meditation. So I presume your question is that you get fear when you meditate and how to overcome it. We will look at how to overcome these fears during meditation. Okay, so now we look at what are the indicators. Now all this time we've been talking about beliefs, subconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs, disempowering beliefs, beliefs that limit your potential, that make, and they're all beliefs which most of which you're not even aware that you have the belief, and that's why they're dangerous, because they start working like viruses in your system. You don't know that they're there, but they're making your system to malfunction. And here the system that we are talking about is your life itself. You take your life itself as a computer system in which so many programs are running, and the virus is those negative beliefs or limiting beliefs that you have, and there are many of those viruses, not just one of them, and all those viruses are acting, and you don't even know that they are there inside, and they're damaging all the outcomes that you really want to happen in your life. So there are different indicators of your beliefs. So what are those indicators? One of them is your body. Your body is such a wonderful system which will explain, which will show to you where your beliefs lie. And we look at how we can learn from the body. Your emotions are an indicator, your mind is an indicator, and your spirit is also an indicator. The spirit as in soul, your soul is the indicator, because we are not just the body, we are emotions, we are mind, and we are spirit. We are all things together. Body, emotions, mind, and spirit. So how does the body indicate a certain belief? Now let us say you want to, you have learned something about positive thinking, and then you want to kind of change or start thinking positively. But you scan your body when you start saying an affirmation. So someone talked about affirmations and why affirmations many times they don't work. Scan your body when you say that affirmation. So let us say the affirmation is that I am inviting all good in my life and all good things are coming to me easily. This is one of the common affirmations that people do. All things come to me with ease and glory and joy, and so many kinds of positive affirmations are there. But most of the times they are not working for people. And there's nothing wrong with the affirmations. Nothing wrong with the people who taught them that these are good affirmations, powerful affirmations, which you can use. But what is wrong? Why is it not working? That's where you need to understand that you already have some subconscious beliefs inside, which need to be cleared first. And then your affirmation has to go inside. So it's your subconscious mind, let us say, is like a glass which is already filled with some kind of poison. Okay, that's the kind of analogy that I can give you. Okay, your subconscious mind is like a glass of milk which is already filled with a lot of poison, and the poison is nothing but your limiting thoughts, your limiting beliefs, and most of which you're not aware of, like the viruses inside a computer. They are there. And to that, you add something positive to the milk which already has poison. Will it become good? Will it suddenly become healthy for you to drink and then it's going to create something great in your life? It can't. It's a very simple logic. So what we need to do is you need to first do the inner work. You need to clear all the negative stuff which is there inside, all the limiting beliefs. You need to transform those limiting beliefs. And without transforming those limiting beliefs, we just go on adding affirmations and affirmations. Then there's already something which is negating all these affirmations and you're not aware of it. That's why most of the times affirmations are not working. So Gita asks that nobody wants to experience negative thought manifestation. Still, negative thoughts sometimes seem to control the whole mind and body system. And where do these negative thoughts arise, and when even we don't want to have them? Like I have already explained in the earlier part of the presentation, everything comes from the subconscious. And in the subconscious, they may come from your past life or they come from your childhood experiences. That is the maximum potential. Other things are, of course, learned over a period of time, but the strongest, deepest influences are always those which have been acquired during childhood and which are coming from your past lives. And you're unaware of these beliefs. You're unaware that you even have these thoughts. So you're right when you say that you don't know where they're coming from, because you have not tried to find out where they're coming from. So what is important for us is maybe not as much important to know where they're coming from, but at least to find out that they're there and bring them out into the conscious awareness. We need to bring all these subconscious into the conscious awareness. So, and once you bring it into conscious awareness, then you can transform these limiting or negative beliefs into positive beliefs. So then you would have transmuted, in my earlier example of the milk and poison, you would have transmuted the poison into something wonderful, something divine, and something like nectar. Like this is exactly what was done in the Sagara Manthan, where the whole sea was churned, and the poison that has come is now being transformed by Shiva. It shows that all the poison is being transformed. And where is it done? It is done in the throat. And the throat is the chakra which is responsible for the creation. It is the chakra responsible for creativity, expression, and everything. So such a wonderful symbolism that we find from our ancient scriptures, where they talk about you have all that negativity, you take it inside, and through the power of your creation, you transmute it into something, and then that can help you to manifest some. So all the negativity it is there within us. It is there within. Shiva is representative of each and every human being. The consciousness, the pure consciousness that exists in each one of us, that is what Shiva represents. And when it is said that he has transmuted all that poison into something which is not harmful anymore, it is the fact that we all can do the same thing, that we can, the poison within us is nothing but the negative thoughts and the negative beliefs that we all have, the limiting beliefs, and we transmute all those negative and limiting beliefs into something which can become beneficial for us, and that is the transmutation that we need to do, and that is what we need to do by working on our belief systems. So coming back to it, so we were talking about the body. So when you're saying an affirmation, look at your body, scan your body, and see how does it feel. Is it feeling comfortable, or is it not feeling comfortable? Is there some kind of discomfort throughout the body? And be very authentic about it. And it's not difficult at all to identify a good feeling and a bad feeling. It's the simplest thing. You can easily say, am I feeling really good all over? Is my body feeling really good? Or is there some discomfort in some part of the body or more parts of the body? So Mr. Tapas asks, so what according to you is the most effective way to cleanse the negative subconscious thoughts, particularly the thoughts related to absence of prosperity, and transform these into very positive, prosperous thoughts and actually manifest them in your life? We need to do it practically. So the first thing is to identify that you have negative thoughts. Like I said, and I've been saying repeatedly, and I will continue to say that because it's so important, we are not aware most of the times that we have limiting thoughts. Because if you were aware so much that you have limiting thoughts, you would have definitely tried to do something about it. Most of the times we don't know that we have subconscious limiting negative thoughts. So first thing is to bring those into conscious awareness. The second thing is, once you bring them into conscious awareness, then you transmute those negative and limiting thoughts into positive. And then you use other affirmations from outside, and then you do meditations which further intensify your positive thoughts, and then you add emotion to it, positive emotion to it. And that's what we are going to do in the guided meditation. We are actually going to do a guided meditation in which we will look at some of your beliefs. By the end of this presentation, you will get some idea, and I want you to give some thought to that while this presentation is going on, and identify at least one or two beliefs which you feel now, which you have come to recognize in the course of this presentation, in the course of all this that you have been seeing. There's something that you will become aware of. You may become aware of some beliefs that you were not aware earlier, or you might be aware also, it's fine, but you become more aware of it now, and choose those as the beliefs that you want to change in this particular guided meditation. So when we do the guided meditation, we're going to work on it practically, because I can go on telling you all the theory of it, but finally this has to be done in practice, and that's what we will do in the guided meditation. The second is emotions. Another indicator of your beliefs are emotions. So when you look at a particular thing, and when you're trying to say some affirmation and your emotion doesn't feel good, again, it means that there is something deep inside which is not agreeing with that affirmation. So its emotions are another indicator of your beliefs. So if you're not feeling good, it means that whatever you're thinking at that time is not going to have a positive outcome. And this is not about superstition. It is a very wonderful feedback system. The divine has given us the body and the emotions as beautiful feedback systems. And they are perfect. They are what we can say high fidelity because they don't lie. They always tell you the truth. They will never mislead you. You follow your body, you follow your emotions, and you will always be given the right kind of guidance because they are your inner guidance. They are your own. They are not something that has been given to you from outside. And you must learn to start following your body and start following your emotions, understanding them because they are your guidance system. If a ship is going on the sea, it needs a guidance system to know where it has to go and which direction it needs to go in order to reach its destination. In the same way, the emotions are our guidance system. And our body is the system which tells us about the health of our thoughts. Are the thoughts positive, negative? What is happening? Because the moment we have more negative thoughts, our body begins to show all that in the form of physical ailments. You'll start getting aches and pains and discomfort everywhere in different parts of the body. All these are indications of the trapped energy surrounding the negative and limiting thoughts that are there within you. Now, this is not going to be easily accepted by all of us. And I know that it's very difficult for us to accept and say that everything that I'm experiencing right now, all the discomfort in my body, all the negative emotions and everything that I'm going through is because of certain thoughts. You'll say, you will deny it. You will say, no, I'm not thinking negative. I'm always a very positive thinker. I'm a very positive person, but still I have this issues. I have these health issues. I have these emotions. I have these negative emotions. But it is all because of something from the deeper thoughts from inside, from your beliefs and thoughts. Because the spirit, mind, emotions, and body are totally interconnected. They are so perfectly interconnected. Everything affects everything else. And then the mind. The mind is, of course, the thoughts. So we have seen about the thoughts, and the mind can also show you about the beliefs because when you think about the beliefs that we have, so this is what we can say a more an intellectual way of finding out your beliefs because through your mind you can analyze and then get the beliefs that you have. And then spirit is, of course, the soul. The soul talks to you in the form of your intuitions. You may suddenly get an idea that there is some belief that you have inside of you, which is not helping you to realize your full potential. And that is the way the spirit or soul also gives you indications about your beliefs, the limiting beliefs that we have. So let's be very clear. Body, emotions, mind, and spirit are totally interconnected, and all these are so perfectly interconnected, and everything can be the guiding system that you have. So your body shows you about the negative beliefs that you have, your emotions show you, the mind shows you, and also spirit gives you indications in the form of sudden flashes of intuition and insights that you keep receiving from time to time. However, you must develop a sensitivity to recognize these insights and intuitions when you receive them. And that happens with a regular practice of meditation. You become more receptive to these other signals that keep coming to you from all over. Okay, so now we go to the next slide. We look at how the body actually shows you your beliefs. The body is a living example of oneness and abundance. And it's a wonderful feedback system that gives us instant feedback regarding our thoughts. And the body is like a mirror of our beliefs. Whatever is our inner belief, it is shown by the body. The emotions are again indicators of thoughts and deeper beliefs, and they are navigation tools on your journey towards not just prosperity but every aspect of life. If you want to go towards happiness, you need to use your emotions as your navigation tools. If you want to go towards harmonious relationships, you need to use your emotions as your navigation tools. And so also when you want to navigate towards prosperity and abundance, also you need to look at your emotions and use them as the navigation tools. Okay. Now in the mind, if we shift the thoughts from negative to positive, then the concentration will begin to alter the balance. So once you shift from the positive, you continuously keep checking on your emotions and your body also. And if it doesn't feel good, then again it means that there is some more thought that you need to process and change. And you keep doing it until your body feels completely harmonious, until your emotions feel very calm and stable. And then your mind also will start becoming more and more positive, and the thoughts start becoming more and more positive. And that is when this vast reservoir of energy and potential that is there within you, then it begins to act in the direction of the manifestation of what you really want to achieve in your life. The next is, of course, the spirit, which or soul, which contains the totality of all experience from all lifetimes, and you can summon the wisdom of your all-knowing spirit or the soul in your deeper meditations. You will be able to access this higher wisdom and use that in your life to transform everything that's happening. Here, there is something else that I would like to talk about. There are different types, some personality types. You can identify that you may fall into any one of these 9 categories. We call them as the 9 egos or the 9 personality types. So, in this, the first type are, and all these personalities have a deeper inner fear. The first, they have a fear that they may be evil or corrupt or defective in some way. I'm not going to explain about these personality types, but these are just for you to know and identify. Probably it rings a bell within you, and it will give you an indication of your deeper limiting and negative beliefs. The idea is that you should be able to identify at least 1 or 2 very strong, intense, limiting or negative beliefs within you, which we will work on in the meditation that we are going to do after this. The second, they have a fear that they are unwanted or unloved. So I will, after reading out all the 9, I'll again read all of them once again so that you can quickly identify any one or sometimes even 2 which you strongly resonate with. And then you understand that these are your core kind of beliefs, the kind of beliefs that you have at a very deep level. And choose them in your meditations when we are going to do the guided meditation. And we will work on transforming that particular belief or beliefs. Yeah, Gaurav, I'll share that with you later about who propounded this system of egos and how we can dig deeper into the book and resource. I'll send you the information about the 9 egos and everything. The third category of people, they are they fear that they are worthless and without value in themselves. That's the third category of people. The fourth, they have a fear that they do not have any identity or any personal significance of their own. That they don't have any personal significance. Now 3 and 4 look very similar. One, they feel they are worthless and without value in themselves. The fourth, fear that they do not have an identity or personal significance. So there is a difference between not having self-worth and not having self-identity. Okay? So the third category, they believe that they don't have any self-worth and they don't have any value of themselves. And the fourth, they believe that they don't have their own identity and they don't have any specific thing, that they don't have any unique thing to contribute to this world. So that is the fourth category. In the fifth category, they feel that they are helpless, incapable, or incompetent. The sixth, they have a fear that they are without any support or guidance. That means they feel they are not being helped by anybody or they are not being guided by anybody. The seventh, they have a fear that they are trapped in pain or deprivation of some sort. That they are trapped in some kind of pain or deprivation. So we can call that a kind of a victim state. They feel that they are in some kind of a victimized state all the time. The seventh is they feel that they are trapped in some kind of pain or deprivation. So they feel trapped. They're kind of helpless kind of a situation, trapped situation, where lack of freedom. Trapped means lack of freedom. They feel lack of freedom in their lives. Then the eighth feel that they will be harmed or controlled by others. This is the victim state. They feel that they're victimized because they feel that they'll be harmed or controlled by others. And the ninth, they fear that they will suffer loss of connection with others. Which is they are the kind of people who always keep fearing that they will lose their loved ones or they will lose their connection with their loved ones and with anything that is meaningful and valuable to them in their lives. They feel that they will lose that. So these are the 9 personalities and egos. So like I said, I'm going to repeat this once again and look at, just see for yourself which of these resonates very strongly with you. The first one, fear that they may be evil, corrupt, or defective in some way. Okay. Second, a fear that they are unwanted or unloved. So in a way of speaking, the first one could be like if you feel that you're a perpetrator in some way, that you're evil, corrupt, or defective in some way, some kind of a perpetrator. Then the second one, feeling unloved and unwanted. The third, feeling worthless and of no value. Fourth, feeling that you don't have any identity or any personal significance of your own, no self-identity, no uniqueness. The fifth, that you're helpless or incapable or incompetent. Then the sixth, that there is no support or guidance. The seventh, that they're trapped, that is lack of freedom and being deprived of things. And eighth, fear that they will be harmed or controlled, like being like a victim. And the ninth is feeling that they will suffer loss of connection with others. That means they will be losing the things that are valuable to them in their lives. So look at that and understand and identify for yourself the one most important one, and there could be another one which looks almost equally important. So identify these two. So we can start working on those two beliefs in the guided meditation subsequently. Now, your present situations are also indicators of beliefs from past lives. Whatever is happening in your present life, things that you don't want, there could be indicators of beliefs that you're carrying from your past life. Because we talked about beliefs coming in and being there in the subconscious, but you need to understand this concept of Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati is a universal law. Whether you like it or not, it happens. It works that way. Thought creates reality is an absolute, undefeatable, universal law. It works without exception. In every situation, every circumstance, that law works, because that's why we call it as a universal law. So, if you find that something good is not happening in your life, the natural corollary of this is that there is some thought within you which has created this problem. You need to first accept that. You can't say that, no, my thoughts are all clean, very perfect and very positive, but still I have all these things that are happening in my life which I don't want and I don't like. First, accept that there is something inside your subconscious. There are some limiting thoughts and beliefs because of which things have happened in your life which you don't like, which you're not liking that experience. So now, how do you apply the principles of deliberate creation? What are the basic fundamentals of deliberate creation? So you have been asking, okay, fine, we have these negative beliefs, we have these limiting beliefs, and we don't even know them most of the time because they are subconscious. But how do you start making the change? How are you going to start working on creating what you really want in life? So the first thing is, our main intentions should be freedom, growth, and joy. Our main intention should be freedom, growth, and joy. Most of the time, we keep, I can say, lesser intentions. So our intentions are something like our short-term goals become our intentions. So understand that you need to make your intentions much broader, because your short-term intention are going to give you those short-term results, but they're not going to give you what you really want. At the end of the day, what is it that we really want in life? What is the true measure of someone's prosperity? What is the true measure of your success in life? What is, yes, Srinita says that now suddenly realize a very hard fact of current life and related it to my past life. Yes, it is true that if you really look at your current life very hard, intensely, and authentically, you will find the kind of pattern or samskara which you brought in from a past life, which has caused the manifestation of this particular unwanted or undesirable aspect in the life. Okay, so now coming to the principles of deliberate creation, always set your intentions first, much broader intentions. Don't look at small things or much smaller intentions, because if you look at the broader aspects and you change everything at a much broader and deeper level, the small things are automatically taken care of. Please understand this. So choose freedom, choose growth, choose harmony, choose joy. Let these be the intentions that you have for your life. So that becomes the foundation of deliberate creation. The second point, and this is very important, you're not here to prove anything to anybody. You're here not even to prove anything to yourself. So Mr. Ramurthy asked, how can I know that what core beliefs are there in my subconscious mind? Yes, we know the core beliefs that are there in the subconscious mind by tracking the beliefs, which we will also do the things, and also use your own life as an indication of your beliefs. As someone had just now found out that she was able to identify, Srinita was able to identify that there is a particular belief that is coming in from a past life. By looking at the current life situation, also you can make out all the aspects and points that we have seen till now in this presentation. These are all so many different ways in which you can find out what are those embedded subconscious beliefs that we have. So you are not here to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. So that is the next point. You're not here to prove anything. The third, you must know this truth, that beliefs can be altered. If you feel that beliefs cannot be changed, then well, your beliefs cannot be changed then. Because even that is a belief. You must believe that your beliefs can be changed. Okay, it's a very important thing for you to know that your beliefs can be altered. The next is to know what is the law of creation. How does creation actually happen? The deliberate creation, how does it happen? So for that, it is very simple. You need to intend it and then let it be. And it is. There are 3 steps. First, you intend, then you let it be, and then the manifestation happens. That's the 3rd step. So where there is wisdom, prosperity manifests automatically. So intend to become more wise. Intend to become a better version of what you are right now. Intend that you are going to evolve, and in that evolution everything else gets added unto you. Like Jesus Christ says, find the kingdom of heaven and everything else will be added unto you. So what you need to follow is the larger aspects: freedom, growth, joy, harmony, love, wisdom. So when these become your goals, and then you find yourself gaining in these aspects little by little, taking those baby steps one by one, little by little, you just keep adding those to yourself, and then you become slightly better and better version of yourself. Because we are all here to become the grandest version of the greatest vision that we have about ourselves. And this is a quote from Neil Donald Walsh, a wonderful master who wrote these amazing books called Conversations with God series of books. And the one statement that really touched me and influenced me so much is that which says that we are all here to become the grandest version of the greatest vision that we have about ourselves. And it may be baby steps. You identify, then you start one by one, little by little, and slowly from, let's say, 1, you become version 1.1, 1.2, and finally 2, 3, and then you'll reach to still higher and higher versions of yourself until you become that grandest version and greatest vision of what you want about yourself. So coming back to it again, let's go through these points again, because these are the foundations of deliberate creation. Choose in your intentions the broader intentions, the larger intentions: freedom, growth, joy, harmony, love, compassion, wisdom. Let those be your goals. You're not here to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. Understand that. Sometimes we say that I'm doing this because I have to prove that I can succeed. I can prove that I can do this. Everyone has all the potential to do that. Only the limitations need to be removed. And the limitations are there in the form of our thoughts and beliefs. As we work on that, everything else will manifest. So, and then third, believe that your beliefs can be altered. Don't give up on your beliefs and say, I have these beliefs since so long and it's very difficult to change them. Don't have any negative thoughts surrounding the changing of your beliefs. Trust and believe that your beliefs can be altered. Then understand the law of creation. It is so simple. It is just intend and let it be, and it becomes. And then you understand that where there is wisdom, prosperity manifests. But where there is prosperity, you may not have wisdom. And then where there is no wisdom, even if you gain prosperity, it doesn't stay there for long. So because our ultimate goal should always be about freedom, growth, joy, love, wisdom, and compassion. And peace, if you want to add, because we need to have that peace, because these are all interconnected and interrelated states of being. Growth, you can't have peace without joy. You can't have freedom without joy. You can't have growth without freedom. You can't have compassion without joy. You can't become a loving and compassionate person unless you really feel the joy and connect to the joy which is already there within you. So now I'll tell you about the 3 levels of creation. Okay, so one is called physical creation, which is what we call as the hard work. So hard work is what we do when we don't understand the laws of creation, when we don't use the power of deliberate creation, you are just doing hard work. Then in deliberate creation, we call it as smart work because we are using the power of the law of attraction and the laws of deliberate creation to do your work, and that is called smart work. And finally, you become a co-creator. When you reach to the level of an enlightened master or being, then you don't even do the smart work, but everything that you want happens around you. You become a co-creator, and that is the stage which is called no work. So our intention as deliberate creation is, of course, eventually to reach to the level of co-creation, but at this point of time, we focus on shifting from hard work to smart work. Now let's look at law of attraction. What is law of attraction? It says that which is like unto itself is drawn. And this quotation I've taken from the Abraham Hicks series of books, and a very highly recommended book is Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, and another book about deliberate creation by Abraham Hicks Publications. These two wonderful books by Jerry and Esther Hicks, who have been channeling the wisdom of this entity called Abraham about the law of attraction. So we just quickly look at the science of creation or the law of creation. There are just 3 steps, like I said. First one is ask. Asking is your work. That is setting the intention, being very clear about the intention that you have. To set the intention clearly, that is the ask. The second is it is given. Okay, when you ask, it is given, and that's not your work. Asking is your work. Okay, the being given is being done by the universe. The universe will give it to you. And the third step is you allow it. Only when you allow, it happens. So this is like Mr. Ashok says, give me an example of co-creation or no work stage. Let us take the example of Buddha. Once he reached to the level of enlightenment, he probably was running the largest organization that existed on the planet at that point of time. And everything was happening without him doing any work, so to speak. So that is the state of no work. Absolutely, completely he was in harmony with the whole universe. Completely he had become one with the universe. So everything happened around him, and that was the stage of no work. Okay, so the first step is ask, the second, it is given. So giving is not your work. Giving is the work of the universe. If you ask, it is given. And the third is allowing. But you have to allow. Now for this I give an example. You go to a restaurant and then you order something. Okay, and when you order, whose work is it to give? It is not your work to give. Your work is only to ask, which is the order. The work of giving is the chef. The chef has to prepare and the waiter has to bring. So they are together one team who is bringing to you. And in this case, that team is the universe. Every force in the universe will bring that to you. And that is the part which is not your work. And the third is allowing. So, but finally, when that is coming to you, you need to be in a state of allowance, or you need to be in a state of receptivity. So when the order is coming to you, you need to be there to receive it. You need to be there at the table to say you receive it. So that is what is called the art of allowing. So these are the 3 steps where you ask, then the second step is not your work. The third step is again your work, where you have to allow it to be given to you. So again I repeat, this is step 1 is your work, because everything you first have to clarify your intentions, determine your intentions and make clear intentions, and then you ask, and those are your intents. And second step, not your work, because universe will give it to you. Automatically it will give it to you, because if you are intending properly and release the thought positively, then it will happen, because thought creates reality. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. And the third is you need to allow it. Now This is why your guidance system exists. Because when you create a thought about some intention that you would like to see manifested in your life, look at how you feel inside. If you're not feeling good, it means that you have not released the thought positive completely, because there are a lot of other negative thoughts from your subconscious which are negating that thought. So your emotional guidance system is showing you the sum total of your thoughts. It is showing you that I may have, let us say, 10 quantity or 10 strength of positive thought, but I have 20 strength of negative thought. So the sum total is -10. Therefore, your emotion is going to give you a bad feeling inside of you. And this works without fail. Trust it. Trust your emotional guidance completely. On the other hand, if you have 20 positive and 10 negative, so the net output is 10, you will still be feeling good. But if you're feeling really, really, really good, for instance, you have 0 negative and you have 100 positive, then you will be really feeling very, very good. Okay, so the intensity of your positive feeling, it's going to bring the manifestation that much faster. So it's pure science. It's pure, that's why it's sometimes called the science of deliberate creation, the science of manifestation, because it is such a pure, wonderful science. It's pure mathematics, it is pure science, it's pure physics, it's pure, it is not just some mumbo jumbo, it's absolutely scientific. But you need to understand it and then believe it, it's good, because then there would be conviction in your belief, because once you understand it, it would be very nice. So Srinita asks, how to remove the 10 negative thoughts? Yes, you track the subconscious, look at, identify those thoughts, bring them to the conscious awareness, and then you work on them and transmute them. That's what guided meditations are for. That is what all your positive book reading is for. Because everything, every aspect is something by which you can work on your subconscious. So that is the art of allowing, and that is allowing what is being asked for. Yes. Thank you, Geeta, about the intending of higher feelings like growth, harmony, joy. That's how that is the thing, because there is less negativity around it. But at the same time, there is one danger here, I would say, because sometimes we feel that yes, I'm in all that positive state and I'm thinking all the great things, I'm feeling joy, freedom, growth, harmony, and all these things. But let us say you have not worked on it, then your body will still tell you that there is discomfort. Your emotions will still not feel good. Don't ignore them. Don't let your mind lead you into a feeling that yes, everything is feeling good and I'm feeling good. Okay, you need to be very sensitive to what your body is feeling, and you need to be very sensitive to how your emotions are feeling from inside. So completely be honest about it. And if there is, it means that there is still negative thoughts inside and limiting thoughts inside. So then work on them and transform them, and then come to that feeling where there is complete harmony between your body and mind and your emotions. Everything should feel the same positivity, because these are your wonderful friends and they will never lie to you. Your body will never lie to you and your emotions will never lie to you. Your mind is always tricky, so don't go with the mind. Just go with your body and go with your emotions. And the third is, of course, like I said, the art of allowing, and you need to allow what is coming to you. And I'm coming back to that same example of the restaurant where you ordered, and if the chef sends your order to you, and at that time you're not at the table, you got impatient and you said it's taking too much time and you went home, then what happens? That means you have not been a good allower. So you must become a good allower also. So you should become good at intending, and you should also become good at allowing. And the middle, step 2, is not your work at all. It's the work of the divine. It's the work of the universe to do it for you. Okay. So steps 1 and 2 together are called the science of creation, and step 3 is the art of allowing. And when you combine 1, 2, and 3 together, that's what we call as the art and science of creation. So good. Thank you, friends. I want you to now just take a couple of minutes to quickly identify 2 beliefs which you want to work on. And in those 9 personalities, from past life influences, from the factors, from the situations that are happening in your life, and all the things that we covered in the presentation over the past more than 1 hour, everything, look at those things and identify the two most strongest limiting beliefs that you have. And these are the two beliefs that we are going to work on in the guided meditation, which we will start in 2 minutes time. I'll just give you 2 minutes to just close your eyes and meditate on it, and then recollect and recapitulate everything and identify those two beliefs which we are going to work on in the guided meditation now. Just take 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and by the time all of you should have identified two very deep, limiting, disempowering beliefs which you want to work on. Okay, friends. So I hope you're all ready to begin this meditation and that you have identified two deep beliefs, very deep beliefs which you want to work on during this guided meditation. So just close your eyes, clasp your hands, interlock your fingers. If you're sitting in a chair, cross your feet at the ankles. Or if you're sitting on the floor, then sit cross-legged on the floor. I will guide you through the meditation. Some of you have some doubts about the process, but just follow the instructions. Just follow the steps that are being told, and it becomes clear. And Just observe your breath. No other thoughts, no visualizations, no thinking of any imagery, just your breath. Just take a few deep, relaxed breaths and settle down into a nice, easy breathing rhythm and just follow your breath. Just follow your natural, easy breath. There's no need to breathe more deeply, or there is no need to breathe rapidly or take shallow breaths. Just your natural, easy, effortless, and simple breath that you have. Just notice how this breath is coming in and how it's going out. Going in and out, in and out. And every time you breathe out all the stress, all the strain, all the tensions, all the anxiety. And every time you breathe in this calmness, this peace, the relaxation, the wonderful joy, and this wonderful cosmic energy. Become aware of the beautiful energy that comes along with the breath. When you're breathing, it's not just air that you breathe. You breathe in wonderful cosmic energy. With every breath, you're breathing in this wonderful cosmic energy. At this point of time, you have nothing to do, nowhere to go. Your only intention in this meditation is to work on these beliefs which you have already identified. These limiting beliefs which have been affecting you, which have been creating situations in your life which are undesirable, which you don't want, which you don't like, which you're not enjoying. We're going to work on these. That's the basic intention, the core intention of this meditation. So let that intent be very clear. Just as we need to intend everything, let us intend to have a very powerful meditation, a very deep meditation. Let us intend to have openness. Let us intend that our subconscious opens to us. And let us intend to have a very calm, peaceful, thought-free stage. Let us intend that the left brain completely relaxes during this entire meditation so that doesn't interfere with the process. Let us intend the mind to be absolutely calm, allowing the subconscious to open up and show us our own soul wisdom and deeper understanding. If you get any thoughts, just say to yourself that at this point of time, my only work is to observe my breath, is to observe how my breath is coming in and how it's going out, and to just allow those thoughts to become weaker and weaker. And just going off into a distance until you can no longer hear them. Now, just go deeper into your own self. Go into that complete understanding that you are beyond this body, beyond this mind, beyond the thoughts. No thoughts. It's as if you've left all your thoughts far behind, that you're journeying deeper and deeper into your own self. Everything else has been left way behind. It's just you and your own awareness. And as you're going into this deeper and deeper journey, just notice yourself becoming smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. You've now become a tiny speck of consciousness. A tiny speck of consciousness in the vastness of this whole universe. Just notice this consciousness traveling deeper and deeper into yourself. And even as that very tiny speck of consciousness, you're completely aware of your existence. Your awareness is surrounded by this entire universe. Every aspect of this universe is aware of itself. And you, as that very tiny speck of consciousness, completely aware of yourself. And you realize how tiny you are, how so small compared to the whole vastness of the cosmos. You go into that stage where you're absolutely nothing. You have no identity beyond your awareness, your own awareness of your existence, that's all. And the awareness of you being that tiny speck of consciousness in this whole universe, in this infinitely huge universe. And you, that tiny speck of consciousness. You are nobody. You are nothing. You are nowhere. You are in no time. You are nobody. Nowhere. In no time. You are nothing. Just be aware of this nothingness, this experience of nothingness, this experience of yourself as nothingness. The first step to removing all negativity and limitations is to go into that empty stage, that experience of nothingness. The longer you stay in that emptiness, the faster you draw everything that you want into your life. The faster you drop all the resistance to everything that you want in your life. And the more you dwell in the nothingness, the more you begin to manifest what you really want. Now, what was that first belief that you had? Think about it. First and foremost, understand that it is only your belief, it is not the truth. Secondly, know that this belief can be changed. Now consider, what would you be without that belief? If you didn't have that belief, how would you feel? How would you be? Just bless that belief for whatever role it has played in your life, as it has helped you to learn things, many things which you probably would not have learned if you didn't have that belief till now. And understand, accept that it is now time for you to let it go with grace, with gratitude, thanking it for whatever role it has played in your life, in helping you in your learning and evolution. And now, what would you like to believe? What would you like to replace that old belief with? And how would you feel with this new belief? How does it feel in your body? How does it feel in your emotions? I want you to feel such a wonderful feeling, something that you have never felt till now, something that is way beyond anything that you ever felt. And also, it should be with such an emotional intensity and with such a wonderful feeling in the whole body. Become aware of every small good feeling in the body. and allow it to expand, allow it to amplify until your whole body has this wonderful feeling. Become aware of every tiny positive emotion that you feel right now and allow it to amplify to such a level of intensity that this combination of feeling in the body and this combination of feeling of the emotions, let it be remembered throughout your life. It should be such that you can never forget. Remember some of those wonderful instances in life, things, the wonderful positive situations which you remember even till this day. Let this be 1,000 times greater intensity than all those positive situations put together. Just visualize how powerful, how powerfully positive it feels in the body and emotions to have something which is of an intensity 1,000 times more than all the positive situations in your life put together that you can remember. Let this intensity be so much that you can be sure that any time in your life in future, if you want to remember this, you can remember it. And it will remind you of this moment when you're doing this meditation. It will remind you of how you felt in the body and how you felt in your emotions. And now, just visualize how would your life be with this new belief? What would be happening in the future? Just visualize all those wonderful things that are happening in your life because of this new belief. Feel that wonderful situations in your body, in your emotions. Feel everything as if it is happening right now. And now see how your body responds to this future. See how your emotions respond to this future. And once again, remember this feeling. Let it be of such an emotional intensity and such a wonderful feeling in the body that you can remember it forever. And now, just look at that second belief that you had, the second limiting belief. Again, first, know that it is just a belief, not the truth. Second, know that this belief can be changed, and that's what you're going to do right now. Now think of how you feel. If you didn't have the belief, how would you feel? How does your body feel? How do your emotions feel without the belief? Amplify the positivity in the emotions and amplify that good feeling in your body. So the more you think about it, and with every breath that you take, this positive feeling, this positive emotion, and the positive feelings and sensations in your body should become stronger and stronger, more and more intense. And while this is happening, just allow that old belief to go. Let it go. Bless it. Thank it for its role in your life. And allow it to go back to the universe, to merge with the energy of the universe, so that the universe can deal with that in the way that it knows best. And come back to the amplification of this new belief, the positive belief that you had, which has replaced that earlier belief which you let go. And allow it to intensify more and more, more and more. Just allow that intensification to happen. And now let it reach to such a level of emotional intensity and intensity of physical sensations that it is 1,000 times greater than the sum total of all the positive situations that you have ever experienced in life. It should be such that you can remember this positive feeling throughout your life, at any point of time in life. In future, whenever you do this meditation to work on your belief systems, you will remember this feeling and keep improving upon it with every subsequent meditation that you do, so that your belief becomes stronger and stronger. And the validation of that belief comes more and more from your body and emotions, with the positive feeling of your emotions and the positive sensations in your body. And now look at how your future would be with this new belief. What would you manifest? And how would you feel when you see all those things manifest from this belief? Again, feel that in your body, feel it in your emotions, and feel everything as if it is happening right now, in this moment. All creation happens only in the present moment. Even if it needs to be manifested in future, that future has to be brought to this moment. The eternal present moment is all that we have. And it is from this moment that all of creation is launched. So you must feel everything that is manifested in your future as if it is happening right now, and you must get the validation from your body. How does your body feel? How do your emotions feel? And it is okay to even allow yourself completely to let it go, to let it keep expanding till it keeps becoming bigger and bigger. And now give gratitude to all the negative situations that have happened in the past as a result of these two beliefs. Because you are what you are right now because of all those situations. Bless everyone in your life. Bless everything in your life. And bless all the difficulties and challenges that you faced in life because they are responsible for launching you into greatness. Know that none of the great things that you are doing and that you are going to do in future would be possible if you did not have any of those challenges or adversities in your life. So be deeply grateful for everything. And gratitude is highest state of receivership. Love, joy, gratitude, appreciation. These are the foremost states that we must always strive to maintain with awareness. And whenever we find our thoughts slipping into anything less than this, we must bring ourselves back to feel all the love, to feel all the joy, to feel all the gratitude, to feel all the appreciation. And it is from that state where the highest degree of positivity can be maintained in your thoughts. And from that, you will be able to manifest everything that you really wished to manifest in your life. Stay with that feeling of gratitude, love, joy, and appreciation. Every time you breathe in, just notice that becoming bigger and bigger, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times more gratitude, 1,000,000,000 times more appreciation, 1,000,000,000 times more love, 1,000,000,000 times more joy. Feel that in your body and mind. Feel that in your emotions. And now you can slowly start returning back, coming back into your present moment awareness, into your full awareness of your body, emotions, and mind in the here and now, into your present life situation. with this entire experience permanently etched into your memory and into your awareness, so that you can recall it at will anytime in future and do this meditation, and it keeps improving with every meditation that you do in future. Last 1 minute. Thirty seconds more. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You can slowly rub your palms, place them on your eyes, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. Now I'll just open the class to any questions that you may have or any experiences that you would like to share. Just share some of the comments that have been coming. Any questions? Welcome any questions. Yes, this will be available not only in FB in our Life Foundation page, but it will also be available in on YouTube, and we have a specific YouTube channel for all our English videos, and that's called Life QLU Global English. It's called QLU Global English. So the good part is that those who missed it, there's no problem. You can always revisit this whole class presentation, meditation in future anytime, and you can also share it with some of your friends who would benefit from going through this meditation. Thank you, friends. Thank you for all the nice comment. But I would also like some any questions where you still have any doubts about either the presentation or the meditation process or anything else. We can definitely clarify them now. So, uh, I would like to talk to you about two of the programs that we have at. I would also want to show a presentation, but then now it's a bit late. So I'll just talk to you about two amazing programs at Quantum Life University. One of them is called the Soul Coach Transformation Program. So for those of you who have already heard of it, it's fine. It may be like a repetition, but it's there are a lot of friends who have joined us for the first time, and it's called Soul Coach Transformation Program. It is a wonderful transformational program which has more than 100 topics of spiritual science. More than 100 topics, starting with meditation, which is like the very foundation of spiritual science theory and practice. And every topic would have theory, practical sessions, and interaction, question answers, and and a lot of sharing. So more than 100 topics. And just to give you some examples of the topics that are covered, we have meditation, we have reincarnation, law of karma, past life regression, kundalini energies, chakras, aura, dreams, astral travel, inner child work, breath work, so many like that, over 100 topics of spiritual science. And it's a very, very powerful program for transformation because most of us are still in the phase where we consider ourselves as just bodies. We don't know much about our spiritual aspect of our own existence. And this Soul Coach Transformation Program is a very, very essential foundation for spiritual science education. It makes you completely aware that you are not just this physical body, but you are spiritual beings having a human experience. And in our understanding, it's absolutely essential that every human being must be aware of their spiritual existence, spiritual aspects of their own existence. And all the problems that we are finding in the world today is because of the lack of this understanding.